It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Wednesday it is. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for being with us, whether you're listening on the podcast or watching on Facebook. We appreciate you getting your news from us. So let's do it.
Thanks for tuning in. It has been almost 7 years since the tragic sinking of the duck boat on Table Rock Lake. 17 people drowned that day. The case against the captain that day in 2018 is asking that the case be thrown out. Kenneth McKee is charged with 17 counts of involuntary manslaughter, as well as 12 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. The Ride the Duck boat sank when a terrible windstorm picked up on Table Rock, really capsizing the boat or sinking it. McKee is set to go before a judge soon, but again, his attorneys are asking that it be thrown out. So we will keep you posted on what happens with that.
Man, it's so strange that it's been this long and it's still in court. And I was reading up yesterday about some of the court case history, and it's been a roller coaster because he's had some rulings that have gone completely in his favor. In fact, the charges were thrown out at one point, and then other rulings that are completely opposite of his favor. It's just been such a long, and for the family of the victims, it's been such a long ordeal, and here we are, and it continues in 2025.
I followed it for a long time.
Yeah.
And it has been very much back and forth.
I was in the newsroom that night when we started to hear about something going on. So we were covering it as breaking news very early on. We knew that something bad had happened. We weren't exactly sure what. And then, it just got, the news just got worse and worse as you went on, finding out.
I covered it extensively at the time. What I remember though about it is being outside that day. I was not at Table Rock yet, like it was before it happened, but I remember being on a slip and slide in Ozark at my friend Stephanie's house, and the wind, like out of nowhere, like flipped over the slip and slide, which it's a slip and slide, I know, but it was just like it was weird. And the color of the sky was strange. But we were in South Ozark, so, closer to Branson. And it was just the weirdest windstorm that I've ever seen.
Well, yeah. And then the video came out and we got to see what the waves were like. And then when there was video of inside the other duck boat that was along with, they were right next to each other, basically. And the people didn't know that they were in danger. They weren't scared necessarily in the video. So the whole story is just a tragic story.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now to this, also a tragic story. 5 years ago today, Springfield had its first official case of COVID-19. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago.
Yeah. Governor Parson at the time declared a state of emergency that day, and then came the local and the statewide shelter-in-place orders, which initially were going to last for like 3 weeks, right? Was it 3 weeks, right? 21
days to lower the curve or something?
Uh-huh, yep. And then, so that was, March 12th, and then of 2020, and then May 11th of 2023 was when the pandemic or the national health emergency was declared over.
Those were 3 crazy years.
Those were 3 crazy years. And even after, because everything changed, So basically, March of 2020 through May of 2023.
Okay. Springfield police want to crack down on motorcycle riders who squeeze between cars on the road. It's called lane splitting. And police say because cars aren't expecting it, and it becomes very dangerous, not only for people in the cars driving, but also obviously for the motorcyclists, is what police are saying. So right now it is not illegal in Springfield to do that, but police say it should be because it's so unsafe. City Council is considering an ordinance to make it against the law in Springfield, not just for motorcycles, but also for bikes and for scooters, other things like that. Interestingly, The American Motorcycle Association says lane splitting is safe and should be legal, which their argument is that if motorcycles are allowed to keep going between cars, they're not going to get pinned between two cars because somebody was on their phone not paying attention and didn't hit the brakes.
Yeah.
That's their argument. City Council is expected to vote at their next meeting on March 24th. But I can tell
I
you,
feel like I travel a lot and it's legal like everywhere. Not in America, but I mean, I'm talking Ecuador,
oh,
Guatemala,
well, yeah.
all over Kenya and Tanzania, and like it's interesting because I'm like now like more used to seeing them come by. I will say they're more visible, but by golly, it startles me like crazy because that doesn't happen in our neck of the woods.
Well,
Although we
sure it
were
does.
also recently in New York City, and it's must be legal there. It's either legal there or they just do it anyway. But it was like they were all over the roads in between cars. So
Well, I mean, it does happen here with regularity. Honestly, it just happened to me on Glenstone the other day. We were leaving an appointment, and you went one way, I was going another way, coming home, and sitting at a light, and a motorcycle flew right by my window. Freaked me out because I didn't see it coming at all. But
yeah,
I was like, man, oh man,
yeah.
and they were safe. It all worked out for them.
It's funny too that a little piece of information on Ethan. If we are at the same place and we take two different cars, which is often the case because we're running around like chickens with our head cut off with 3 children going in different directions all the time. But he will never drive the same way home that I do. It's the truth.
Well, I mean, I didn't know the other day. I didn't do that intentionally, but if I do, it's to see which way is fastest.
I know. I
Oh,
know why you do it. It's just
okay.
funny because we
You didn't
literally
tell the
never take
audience.
the same way home. We
Oh,
just
okay.
like we always go totally separate ways. It's funny.
Yeah, I do like to know which way is the best way to go.
I know because I'll do the same thing. If he goes right, I'm going to go left just to see which
Yeah,
one of us wins.
and it depends on a number of factors, but all things being equal, it kind of gives me some insight into which way that I should be going, and proves whether I'm right or wrong, honestly, because I have an idea about what's fastest. St. Louis Police Department could wind up in the state's control instead of the city's, which is a pretty big deal. The Missouri Senate passed a bill that would do just that, put the St. Louis City Police Department under state control. It would also establish a board of police commissioners there. So now the issue goes to the State House of Representatives.
Yeah.
Big
Which the House,
disagreement
by the
up in
way,
St.
has
Louis.
seen this, but the House has seen this before, but it has to go to the House again because there's been some wording changed. Like there's been a few like caveats, inked into this. So it's very interesting to me.
Well, yeah, it looks like it's going to happen. There's a disagreement, though, on the topic up in St. Louis, as you might imagine. Some feel like it is a good thing. It would cut down on what is a very high crime rate, especially in the downtown St. Louis area, making people scared to walk around in downtown St. Louis, which is nuts. Others, like the mayor, say it's a political move and is a disregard for democracy, is what the mayor is saying up in St. Louis.
Yeah. And many others, by the way, saying the same thing. But yeah, I was reading up on it and it has been back and forth depending on who you're talking to. But it looks like it's probably going to happen.
Yep.
Which when you worked in St. Louis, I think it was under state control then? Because it has been before under state control.
I'm trying to remember. That was early 2000s.
Like 2012 was a pivotal year. So you were here in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So prior to that, it had switched over once or twice.
It didn't switch while I was there, and I don't recall because it wasn't a story while I was there in 2003 and 4 and 5.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Big Whiskey's is opening 3 stores in the Lone Star State. It's based in Ozarks, so that's fun. They're expanding again. The owners are working on restaurants in Willis, which is near Houston, also in the Woodlands and Conroe. Big Whiskey's has 19 locations, either already in operation or soon to be in operation. So they are well on their way to taking over the world. Just kidding. Fritz's Adventure, meanwhile, down in Branson. It's fun if you have not yet been. They're opening a second location right now in Texas near Dallas, just like the one in Branson. The ropes course, the zip line, lots of tunnels, wall climbing. So lots to do at Fritz's. Have you been to Fritz's?
Yeah. Well, when the kids were younger, we went.
Okay. I know I had been. I wasn't sure if you were along for the journey or not.
I was.
Or if you were working hard to make a living and sending us on your hard-earned dollar, because that happens sometimes too. But it's a good time. It's a good time.
Supporting their lavish lifestyle is what I do.
It is true.
Former Titans and Chargers cornerback Christian Fulton, a free agent, is now coming over to the Kansas City Chiefs. Signed a deal. He went from winning the national title at LSU to Tennessee to Los Angeles and now to KC. He'll get a 2-year, $20 million contract that includes $15 million guaranteed. So the Chiefs making a lot of moves in this offseason.
Yeah.
After the debacle of the Super Bowl.
It was a three-peat, though. So there's that.
It was an attempt at a three-peat.
Well, okay.
It was not a three-peat.
Light the Way Christian Music Festival has announced its lineup for September. The 2-day festival is happening this year at Thunder Ridge Nature Arena. So that's exciting, down in Branson by Big Cedar. On Friday, September 12th, the headliner is Torrin Wells with KB, Seth Schleter, and Claire Leslie. And then on Saturday, September 13th, it is Need to Breathe, Josiah Queen, Jordan Feliz, and Megan Woods. So quite the lineup and very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. The St. Patrick's Day Parade is on Commercial Street this year. Be advised, it is not happening on St. Patrick's Day, which is Monday the 17th. The parade, so that more people can attend, is going to be on Saturday the 15th. So mark your calendars, Saturday the 15th.
Yeah.
The parade starts at 2:00 at Benton Avenue and Commercial Street. Then it's going to make its way through historic C Street District. It will end at Park Central Square. There will be food. There will be drinks. There will be live music kind of around the Park Central Square area. So should be a great time. And hopefully, I have not looked at the weather for that yet.
It'll be a little cooler on Saturday, but still not bad. I think storms maybe Friday. Check in with Wake Up Weather with Abby Dyer. Storms Friday, a bit of a cool down with the cold front. And then Saturday, still a nice day.
Perfect. Good times. So have fun.
But I'm not a meteorologist.
The parade, but you do pretend to be one on the podcast.
Occasionally I do.
So.
And wrong half the time.
Good times.
Which I think it's the criteria, right?
That's not funny. That's not funny.
Meteorologist joke. Ron would get it.
Ron would get it. Brandon would get it. Abby would get it. But it's
Abby
hard.
Get it.
It's a hard job.
They don't appreciate it, but they get it.
There's that. Okay. Well, that's all we got. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope to see you right back here tomorrow morning.
Yep. Have a great day, and we'll see you then.
Bye.